This is how I started 4 businesses in 2 months in the middle of a pandemic. Basically, when the pandemic was happening, masks were taking over and everyone had their own mask. They didn't have one mask, they would have a bunch of masks. And I thought, this is quite a cool thing to maybe try and see if I can get into late in the game and define myself and maybe just see if there's anything that can still be done interesting in the space. And there was tons of research coming out that literally tons of waste of masks was happening daily from disposables or just reusable ones that were getting thrown away. And actually, even ones that people thought were sustainable, like ones made from ocean waste or recycled plastic, released thousands and thousands of microplastics in the wash. Microplastics have been found to be so damaging to the environment and even found in fetuses. So I was like, ocean plastic, no go, polyester, no go. So it needs to be cotton or some kind of material like hemp. And now hemp was way too hard to find a manufacturer. I went online, absolutely no chance. So I really just looked at cotton, and there's kind of 2 main types of cotton that you can consider. There's organic cotton and conventional. And now organic cotton, basically what that means is way less water than it takes to make a normal. So if you have a normal pair of cotton jeans, it takes I think 21 gallons or something just for that one pair, something a bit crazy. And then organic cotton also has no pesticides or chemicals in its growth. So that's kind of the vibe one to go for. Now, to find someone who can make this, I had to go onto Alibaba, AliExpress, also look at some local ones. And I just settled on this bloke on Alibaba who could do everything I wanted. Because I didn't just only want the mask to be, sustainable and sweet. I wanted the packaging also to have good vibes. So the reason is that a lot of things, they're just like plastic poly bags. You'll just see them, there's nothing really interesting about them, and again it's just more waste. So I wanted it to be like a nice paper packaging that I could just send in an envelope. And then the other thing I wanted it to be was plant a tree, because why not? It helps the planet, offset their CO2 emissions. So those are 3 things that I wanted my mask to be, and you know what? Managed to do it. And here is what one looks like. I'll show you right now. Here's the beautiful packaging. Here's what it looks like. Here you go, you can see. And this is one of the masks. So this is the mental health design mask. So this is the second SKU. It's 3 layers. You've got adjustable loops. You've got a little pocket to put your filter in if you want. And basically how I funded the first one was a crowdfunding campaign on Indiegogo. Funded 100. They all sold out. And actually the money raised from that only was 50, and then I could just use the other 50 to make a profit. And I biked around a bunch of local shops saying, hey, do you want to stop my mask? Do you want to stop my mask? I got a lot of no's. I got a lot of we're not interested, not what we do. And then 2 blokes were just like, yeah, sure, why not? So that was 6. So we put 10 in each of those, and they sold out within a week or so, which was pretty awesome. And then I did the second SKU of the mental health masks. And then I managed to partner with the local university I'm at, and they did 100 masks for LGBT month, which was pretty awesome, and Pride's coming up, so that's kind of an awesome thing to celebrate for them as well. And then we did some for some local uni societies as well as a drone startup. So all in all, the mask, absolute success, sustainable bad boys. We did, I think then, a total of 400 to 500 masks, and we made a net profit of about £300 to £500, which for 2 weeks is pretty juicy. So I'm pretty happy with that. Then the next one we did was Spacesuits. Now, I've always been a bit of a space fan, and I think space is becoming more and more mainstreamy thanks to Elon and SpaceX. And I thought, I've always wanted like a coverall, because I've always found them kind of quite cool anyway to just wear around, like streetwear-y. Why can't I make a coverall for myself that is not only streetwear-y but also has space stuff on it? So I went round ASOS, Depop. They were all way too expensive, and there's nothing that I could resell on. If I'm buying for £30 or £40, I need to then sell it for way more to make any kind of profit or any use. So then I thought, why don't I just go to a B&Q or a DIY store? They'll have coveralls, but I'm hoping they'll be much cheaper. So after scanning around, I found Toolstation, which had exactly what I wanted. And that was a navy blue colour with zips. And not only did they have zips, they were in the right angle that the NASA ones should be, which is a nice inward slope, you know. So, and it had so many pockets and it was so perfect. And I was like, £20, you're coming with me. So he came home and I thought, right, before we then commit to buying patches or sewing anything on, let's try him on. Let's see if he looks nice. Let's see if he fits well. And then what I could do is I just printed off what the patches might look like and I taped them on myself just to see, hey, would this actually be something that might look cool? And I was fully prepared for it to be 100% naff. But it came out looking, fantastic. And I was like, okay, this could actually work. So I was like, right, next thing we need to do is buy the patches. And luckily, as I said, I was a space fiend when I was a kid. Mum found a raincoat that she'd sewn on some space badges. So when I was young, she just took these off. And again, we want to keep costs low, yeah? The startup cost got to be a minimum. So she took these off, sent them to me in the post. And all I had to do was just buy a UK flag patch. So I sewed them all on. I've got a sewing machine at home. And it came out looking something like this. How about this? That's pretty sweet. Look at that. It's pretty. You see what I see about the zips? In, and you've got as many pockets as you want. Pocket on the side, pocket on the bum. Hundreds of pockets. So once that was done, I did a little photo shoot, took it outside. Just me and my mate, we just didn't put it on Etsy. And then I also made some TikToks because I thought it could be quite cool to see how, you know, marketing using TikToks would go. So I tried to go for very TikTok-y things. So I said how to be a spaceman in 2 steps. I'd be like how to type like a spaceman. And then it'd just be hitting the spacebar repeatedly, you know, just perfect highbrow chat like that. And then another one would be how to drink like an astronaut. And then it would just be me upside down pouring water, trying to pour water in my mouth. So, you know, just really hitting it where I think the TikTok crowd would love that stuff. So that was the marketing. We did a few of those videos, put them out. And then one morning, we actually get a bloody order. The most outrageous thing. Just absolutely no expectation whatsoever. And this order was for a SpaceX look. So we basically put together looks of like astronauts or SpaceX people. So this one had like the one of the SpaceX patches on one arm, a US patch on the other, and then like a name patch in the middle. And that was sent out to Germany, which is pretty rogue but amazing. And basically what I also did was I sent them a little I like signed a letter that I said like congratulations on being a space cadet and all this stuff, you know, make them feel a part of the family. And then I wanted to wrap it in something that was kind of cool and spacey. So I tried initially aluminum foil, but that kind of just ripped and completely crumpled on me. So then instead I went for, you know, I managed to find in Poundland a silver wrapping paper. So that worked perfectly. So we got that done, sent that off, and that was the spacesuit, and what a success. We made a bit of money on it. If we include my spacesuit, then we technically didn't, but hey ho. I would say it's success. Selling one from just a few TikToks and whatever, huge. Next one was coffee shops. Pret a Manger did this kind of subscription service where you pay £20 a month, you get 5 coffees a day from any of their stores. And I thought, oh, that's pretty cool, but there are no Prets near me, and I love a coffee, but I'm not going to go bike 20 minutes to get myself a free coffee. So I thought, well, there's hundreds of independent shops. Why can't I just link them up or maybe see if they wanted to get in on it anyway? So I basically needed a way to make a subscription paying thing, and I thought, oh, I could use plenty of websites out there or code my own, but I haven't got time for that. I'm not interested in that, and you've got to pay for domains and websites and all that. So I thought, how can I do it for free? And I managed to absolutely bootstrap myself one out of Instagram and PayPal and Instagram stories, and it's an absolute patchwork of different tech, but it comes together and it works. So then basically all that involved me doing was biking around all the local coffee shops in a day. And I actually went around in my spacesuit and I was like, hey, this is what I'm doing. I'm a YouTuber, man. This is what I'm doing. would you be interested in like coming on as a coffee shop just to test out, only looking for one? And again, no, yes. So this yes, run by Giuseppe. It's called Symposium, a beautiful Italian coffee, absolutely fantastic. And they were keen to come on board. So they came on board for £50, and that'll be one coffee a day. Now, it was great to have them on board, but I think the reason that this one didn't really work as well was because I think that the cost was just way too high for anyone to get on board with. No one's really interested in paying £50 for one coffee that they can redeem a day, whereas with Pret they can get 5 coffees a day for £20. Despite the fact that if you did go to Symposium daily and you bought a coffee daily, you'd have saved £34 if you'd have bought a subscription. So I still think there's something in it, and I'm interested in maybe working with unis, but we can really got to scratch this one off as not a success, but good fun, you know. And then the final one we did was basically streetwear for businesses and for uni societies. So in my opinion, I always find like uni stash fairly bland. It's always just a polo or a hoodie with a logo in the corner. And I kind of wanted to make something that you might find on ASOS or Depop that you would not think was in any way associated with the uni. How I thought about it was something you could wear to a club or a pub. To do this, there were 2 things I figured that needs to be done. One, the designs needs to be hip and cool, man. And secondly, I thought it all came down to the marketing. I figured these things need to be some kind of either limited, like there's only a few of them, or there's some kind of, like exclusivity that people really want to get these things for. So what I did was I set up a private Instagram that was completely anonymous, and my plan was it was invite only. So you could only buy the stash if you were on the Insta, and it would only be available one day a month. And we would hype it up with like Spotify playlists that inspire the designs and whatnot. So I did this, and then to share it, I basically chose just 10 random people at Bart's, and I sent them a message saying, hey, you've been invited to this. You've got one invite, pass it on. And that thing blew up organically like you won't believe. And all of a sudden, I had people messaging me saying, oh, cool, can you add this person? And people love it. People love the fact that they're part of this exclusive little Pinster and they get to invite someone. So that absolutely blew up. And we had a really hyper-engaged audience who were really keen on the stuff. But we did the first drop, absolutely 0 sales. Nothing on the socks, nothing on the T-shirts, nothing on the hoodies. So that was pretty gross. But I think that the designs were probably not up to scratch. So I've done some new designs, and I'm hoping to do them, but we've had issues with our manufacturer. A little silver lining is one societies did get in contact with us, and we actually made them some like vibey golf visors that I think are pretty fly. and they're pretty cool. And we made a bit of profit on those. So that's, another day in the sun. And that's basically it. In summation, we're talking for businesses about net profit of £550 from 2 months of work. And I want to shout out thanks to my friends and fam. The subreddits, if you want to buy one of my masks, link below. If you want to buy one of the spacesuits, link gonna be below. And honourable shout out to Student Finance England. Big up. You're always there. You represent. Thank you.
If you having girl problems, I feel bad for you, son. I got 99 problems, but a chain one. I got the red patrol on the cat patrol. Folks that want to make sure my cast is